Good evening, friends, and welcome to yet another very interesting session with Suresh Kochattil ji. Welcome, Suresh.
Namaskar.
So, Suresh ji, starting with the first piece of news, and we have Rahul Gandhi, taking a jibe at Modi ji and, accusing him of surrendering to pressure by Donald Trump. And this his leadership is very contrasting as compared to, Indira Gandhi. So this is just another, jibe at Prime Minister Modi, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this has to do with the latest revelations about the Apache helicopters. Now, then we need to realize what happened today. If you read today's Times of India, and if you read that story where the fact check by Chidanand Rajgupta has actually clearly called out, clearly saying that the entire thing is fake. President Trump doesn't even know the number of helicopters ordered. Okay, he claims to have ordered around 50 plus, or that is what he says, claims India has ordered. And that was ordered at a time when President Trump was not in power. Okay, it was during Obama's time that the helicopters were ordered, majority of them. And the ones that were ordered for the army came in much later. And that is what is the clarity in this entire issue. In fact, President Trump claimed that there were 68 Apache helicopters. And then, President Trump claimed that Modi ji called him and said that, "Sir, can I speak to you?" Now, if you remember, the same logic was used by President Trump with President Xi also, Xi Jinping. He said that he also called him sir. Now, this man has got a kick when somebody praises him to the sky high. He loves Asim Munir and Shehbaz Sharif because these are lapdogs who will kind of call him by any other name if he wants to, even if he wants to be called Jesus Christ, they will do that for him. This is what it is. I mean, Jaydev, let us be one thing very, very clear about it. Here is a narcissist who loves being called by, various, his majesty or whatever he wants to be called. And, when he's speaking, one can make out that he's fibbing. Now, this is very, very obvious that the entire thing, as much as Operation Sindoor did, and I can quote from this report by Chidanand Rajkata, where he says that the US President Donald Trump pulled off yet another hyperbole out of the MAGA hat on Tuesday, claiming that India ordered 68 attack helicopters, which was so slow that Prime Minister Modi called him. Now, the review of the official contract, if you look at it, and the delivery records, if you look at that too, shows that the conversation with the ministry and the diplomatic sources does not align with the facts. India, in fact, has ordered only 28 Apache helicopters in total, and as of December 2025, all have been delivered. Now, why would Prime Minister Modi call them when only the last of the six got delayed, which we know was reason due to Turkey objecting to India's overflying rights with the helicopters, and that aircraft went back to US and again came back to another route and got delivered to the Indian Army. Now, this is something that we need to be very, very kind of skeptical of President Trump, because remember what he did with Operation Sindoor. He claimed that he is the one who set it right. He is the one who called the entire thing. This is a consistent thing with him, that he loves bringing down another president or a prime minister who doesn't kind of curry favors with him. And this is something that we have seen over and over and over again with President Trump. And this particular one, in fact, if you look at the Operation Sindoor part also, very, very clearly, we're seeing that President Trump loves to kind of make claims when none exist. Now, I'll give you an example. He says Pakistan, during the India-Pakistan Sindoor, Operation Sindoor, it was he who stopped the war. And we saw that later that one of the White House officials actually got a medal for it. Now, wondering why President Trump didn't get the medal for it. That is the question we need to ask ourselves. Now, if you look at the report, the FARA report that has come out, the disclosures from that, it's very clearly says that Islamabad panicked at Operation Sindoor, and within weeks of Indian Army's May 6th and 7th precision strikes, Pakistan pulled all the intense lobbying in Washington and show that nearly 60 outreach calls were made to various senators and US officials by Pakistani lobbyists. Now, who was kind of pulling the strings now? I mean, who was trying to curry favors with the US government? We never did. We never used our lobbyists there. So Islamabad allegedly offered investment incentives. We saw that Asim Munir himself carrying a dabba with him and showing how much of rare earths they have in Pakistan to President Trump. And this is what it is. The six American lobbying firms spent around $5 million to curry favors post Operation Sindoor with the US government. So that is why, the news that, oh, so many Rafales were shot down or so many aircraft were shot down, when we know actually none of that sort happened. And this is what is kind of President Trump loves it. He is a narcissist. He loves people around him currying favors, people around him falling at his feet, begging forgiveness. He loves it. We saw that with President Maduro when he got kidnapped from Venezuela. Now, Colombian president is challenging him, saying, "Come, take me also. Let us try this." This is, I mean, imagine what will happen to the American firms once President Trump leaves office. So the next president who comes in will not be like this. He'll be totally different, or at least majority will be different. And that is why you see the oil firms that are supposed to go to Venezuela, like Chevron and ExxonMobil, are not willing to go because, see, if you're going to put $50 billion, and by the time you start digging and getting the fuel out, it'll be President Trump will be gone. He'll not be there for another term. And what happens after that? Suppose tomorrow the next president who comes in and says, "I don't care a damn about Venezuela. It's your problem. It's your money." Gone down the drain. And that is what is going to happen, Jaydev. This is something that is most ridiculous with the U.S. president. See, there when you are the most powerful man in the world, as you claim to be, you need to ensure that you are consistent. That the cat is not white one day and the same cat doesn't become black the next day. You have to have a consistent approach. I mean, right or wrong, we don't care a damn about it, but you need to be consistent about it. Here is somebody who says something one day and next day says another thing. 68 helicopters. Where did we order 68? It is 28. You can't even remember numbers. And this is a psychological problem. If you post the videos that President Trump is speaking, different videos at different points in time, you'd see that most of the time he makes mistakes when he does it off the cuff remarks. And this is what is there off the cuff remarks he makes. And that when he's standing by the door side in Air Force One and the media guys are on, then he loves publicity. So he goes and makes some wild statement, okay, that we're going to run Venezuela for the next foreseeable future. Whereas Marco Rubio, who's more aggressive than Trump because he is basically a Cuban, he doesn't make any statement like that. And this is the problem that nobody in the presidential circle, inner circle, has the guts to say that the emperor has no clothes. Something very close to what Rahul Gandhi is. The Bhajan Mandali around him, K.C. Venugopal and others, don't have the guts to tell him that what he's saying is a blunder. And that is why you see they make mistakes again and again and again, become a laughing stock in front of the entire world. I mean, look at the way the Venezuelan issue was dealt with. They could have been done more professionally. Even if you want to kidnap him, you could have done that. But why all that drama? Quietly get him to the US, put him before the court, narco terrorism or whatever, God damn it, you have it. Put the charges on him, lock him and his wife up somewhere. Nobody minds. I mean, after all, Maduro is not Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. He is not. He's a different character altogether. The guy who succeeded Hugo Chavez, and Chavez himself was notorious. The problem with President Trump is he loves publicity. He's a real estate guy. He's a transactional person. He loves selling flats, sells apartments, sells land, everything. So, the typical mentality when you do that is this, that you put something before them and say, "Do you like this or not? Even if you don't like it, take it." This is the deal that he does. And the Bitcoin deals and other things that he's doing across the world with all those regimes which are very shadowy. I mean, if you can kidnap Maduro, you might as well kidnap Asim Munir because he's a bigger terrorist than Maduro. At least in our, parlance in the in India parlance, saying that he sponsors so many terrorists. Osama bin Laden was found hiding in Pakistan, not in India. This is what it is. So I think we need to kind of just discount this gentleman. He's going to be there, and the midterm polls which are going to come is going to really cost him really heavy because he still believes that the Indian firms are paying the tariff. Nobody has told him it's American firms who are paying the tariff. Because when you send a product for $10 from here and $5 are put in as the tariff, it is the American company who's buying, who's paying for the $15. Okay, we may become uncompetitive in the bargain, that's fine. But our November exports are up. Our December figures have not come out yet. but I'm sure they'll be also be up. And then the question comes, when somebody wants a basmati in the US, or somebody wants spices in the US, they will buy it from an Indian source, even if it costs a couple of dollars more due to the tariff. And that's what is happening, Jaydev.
Yeah, so when we talk about the Congress party in general, there seems to be a lot of cracks within the Congress party because as far as the Assam elections are concerned, we have Priyanka Gandhi is being projected, and she is chairperson of the candidate screening committee in Assam. So BJP has pointed out that there are now two factions within Congress. One is listening to Rahul Gandhi, and one is listening to Priyanka Gandhi. So do you see there's some cracks inside the Congress party as well?
When Rohit Sharma or Virat Kohli doesn't deliver the goods, losing 10 matches in a trot, they are sacked. They may remain in the team, but they're sacked. They are no longer the captain. Rahul Gandhi has been tried, tested, relaunched, launched again, relaunched again. And after 95 successive defeats, he doesn't have a face to show. So that is why Priyanka Vadra has taken over. And I mean, come to think of it, I mean, when she interacted in a tea conversation that they had with the Lok Sabha Speaker and Prime Minister Modi and other opposition party leaders, it was very casual. It was very good. And she spoke to Nitin Gadkari in Parliament and said, "Look, my constituency, Wayanad, has an issue with National Highway. Can you sort it out for me?" Gadkari ji said, "Come, my door is open. Anytime you want to walk into my cabin, I'm there. You can speak to me." And she went there and we met him. We saw the pictures of that. Now, what Priyanka Vadra is trying to do is to be an antithesis of Rahul Gandhi. She knows whatever blunders he's making. Look at the body language. She doesn't talk beyond a point. All the congressmen still believe that she's a reincarnation of Indira Gandhi. I mean, if looks could be that, we could have had a number of film stars being our prime minister, but it doesn't work that way. She changed the names of her kids to Gandhi, not Vadra. That is a bigger point again there for you. So everything that the Congress has gone wrong with the Congress is what Priyanka is trying to correct, Jaydev. And for that, if she goes to Assam and sits with Gogoi and says, "I want to make the list of people who are going to win this election," that is good because last time when Bihar happened, if you recollect, Rahul Gandhi was in Colombia. He was not. He was not in Bihar. I mean, here three people, that is Lalu Prasad, his son, and Rabri Devi went down. The Tejasvi and Rabri Devi went down to Delhi because they had a court case there where the charges of framing were charged against them in the cash for job scam or land for job scam. They waited 3 days to meet Rahul Gandhi, and he refused to meet them. I mean, they are his principal alliance partner in Bihar, and 3 days, Lalu and his family shamelessly waited for Rahul Gandhi to meet them. Remember the story of Himanta Biswa Sharma? When he was a senior Congress leader from Assam and he had a problem with Tarun Gogoi, he went to meet Rahul Gandhi, and we all know the famous story where Himanta Biswa was fed the dog biscuits and he promptly walked away and walked right into the BJP camp. And today he's one of the senior most leaders of BJP, the chief minister of Assam, and controls everything in the northeast. Congress knows how to drive the talent out of the door. And that's the biggest capability in the party. Ghulam Nabi Azad, Tom Wadakan, you name it. I mean, I'm not saying Tom Wadakan is a big leader, but I'm just saying, look at the way they have driven out people from the party. Okay. The stalwarts, the kids of the stalwarts of the Congress are all with BJP today. And that is what you're seeing. It is no surprise that the leftover congressmen are now struggling to survive. Because remember, at the end of the day, Trinamool Congress was a Congress party before. Okay, Mamata Banerjee was with the Congress. That is why it's Trinamool Congress, not Trinamool BJP or Trinamool CPM. And look at the other way around, the NCP, the Nationalist Congress Party. Sharad Pawar walked out of the party, or walked out of the Congress because he couldn't get along with Sonia Gandhi. He felt Sonia Gandhi was a foreigner. So be it. The problem now is, Jaydev, is that Priyanka has to take over because the party has come around to the view that somebody who performs needs to be given the leadership. Mallikarjun Kharge is an old man. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going. He needs permission to even to go to the bathroom from the lords in 10 Janpat. The same thing we saw with Manmohan Singh. We pitied him. Now we are pitying Mallikarjun Kharge. So he's a stopgap leader. Naam ke vaste, that is it. Because this is a private limited company at the end of the day, the Congress party. It is the family who will decide everything, no matter what. So your KC Venugopals and all of the world who are now advising Rahul Gandhi are disasters. I mean, compare him with Ahmad Patel, okay, the legend of that time, who used to know everything, every political thing like the back of his hand. Where do you compare KC Venugopal and Ahmad Patel? No way. They're two poles apart. And that is why Rahul Gandhi keeps getting one stupid advice after another. And what you're saying about Priyanka Gandhi taking over in Assam, I feel is a good sign for the Congress party. See, at the end of the day, we need to have a strong opposition. We need to have an opposition that questions the government, not makes wild claims against the government, as we see in case of Rahul Gandhi. So this is exactly what should be done, what should not be done also. And I think Priyanka Vadra taking over the roles in Assam to select the candidates there is a good move. Good move, right or wrong, whether she, because at the end of the day, Congress is not going to win. Okay, whether they're going to have a tie with the AIDF, Badruddin Ajmal, it's a big question again. But the question is, at least she has made a start, and that is the most important thing. And we need to agree with Congress Party that this kind of approach should have been done long back. Priyanka Vadra should have been given the charge, possibly of the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. But now that the Congress has realized that they're backing the wrong horse, they have now come forth to the view that it is better to have Priyanka Vadra there, in at least in Assam, selecting the candidate instead of Rahul Gandhi, who would have been sitting in Colombia. By the way, when the Congress's alliance with the RJD in Bihar was cracking up. This is the truth. In the end of the day, I think, Jaydev, we need to appreciate horses win races, and that's it. So we need the right kind of horses to win the races, and the Congress has finally realized. Of course, it's the same party. But at the end of the day, the family is still controlling everything. But at least they are making a honest try in Assam, and by giving Priyanka Vadra a chance, at least I hope she's not like Rahul Gandhi that after the defeat in Assam, she'll again claim vote chori. Because if you lost an election, or if you lost a match, or if you lost a race, admit you lost it and say that I'll come back stronger next time. And that is the sign and maturity of a leader.
Yeah, so as far as the Kerala elections are concerned, now you do you see Congress doing well in Kerala with the UDF?
Yeah, I think the recent local body elections, Jaydev, has given a glimmer of hope for the Congress party. But as we have seen in the last two Lok Sabha elections, the Congress led UDF won 19 of the 20 seats on offer, leaving just one for the LDF. But when the subsequent assembly election came up, we saw a totally different result. Now, that's obviously like saying, in Modi ji, people vote for Modi ji in Lok Sabha elections and assembly elections. In Telangana, BJP got 8 Lok Sabha seats in the Lok Sabha polls of 2024. But in the assembly elections, they don't do well, which is correct. Because there, the poster boy is Modi ji. And people vote for Modi ji. And Modi ji says that, forget whoever is the candidate, mujhe vote dena. I'll take care of you guys. That is the most important. So here in this case of Congress, there are a lot of internal things happening in Kerala, Jaydev. One is the arrogance of Pinarayi Vijayan, which is costing the Congress party dear. This man has literally hijacked CPM. CPM used to be a party led by veterans like Harkishan Singh Surjit and others, S.A. Dange of the older days. Of course, that time it was CPI. But still, they had people with that kind of caliber. When did you last hear of the CPM Politburo meeting? No, I didn't, at least not for the last 2, 3 months. They used to even have a meeting called Available Politburo in Delhi. That is basically whoever is hanging around in Delhi in the Politburo, they'll say, call them and say, Chai Pina, Sham ko aa come to AKG Bhavan and we'll have a chai. And that is called Available Politburo meeting. The West Bengal unit is to dominate the CPM till about something like 10 years ago. But the moment Buddhadev Bhattacharya lost the election and Mamata Banerjee came in 15 years ago, the CPM Bengal unit started losing its relevance. And today we are seeing what is happening in Bengal is very, very clear. Is that the Bengal unit is now tying up with the Congress to fight Mamata Banerjee. And in Kerala, it is just the opposite. So when you ask me, is Congress winning in Kerala? The reason being is Pinarayi Vijayan's arrogance, the Shabarimala issue, that the entire gold scam that is happening in Shabarimala, for which the investigation is still going on under the supervision of the High Court, and of course, the other things that are there. People are basically fed up. of the CPM more than the left front. Left front also has CPI and smaller parties. Even an ally like the Kerala Congress Mani group, led by Joske Mani, has failed miserably in the local elections, the panchayat and the municipal elections. In the Kottayam Pathanamthitta district, where they're supposed to be really strong. So that's a sign of things to come. And I think Pinarayi Vijayan has kind of messed up the situation, but I still have the feeling that the Congress can mess it up, just like they did in Haryana, where they gave BJP the entire thing on a platter and said, take it. The Congress knows how to lose a winning election, and they're very good at it. And I'll not be surprised if the candidate selection this time goes wrong. BJP wins something like 10 to 12% votes in Hindu strong areas like Kasargod, Nileshwaram, Tiruvananthapuram, maybe Thrissur, Palakkad, Tripunithura, Ernakulam area, some areas of Ernakulam. Then the vote difference in Kerala usually is 1 to 2%. And if BJP takes away 10%, then it's going to be a different result altogether, because assembly elections are on a smaller segment. Unlike a Lok Sabha, which is 6 assembly or 7 assembly constituencies, here the margin of victory would be 2,000 to 3,000 votes. And if BJP can swing away a larger number of votes, they may not win it, but they can still create a difference. Because they are aiming to win at least 5 seats. That's what BJP says, Nemam included. Maybe Palakkad. Last time there was a deal between CPM and Congress, which saw Mr. Sridharan losing the elections. But technically, BJP can still win Palakkad. Whether they will win in other parts of the state is a matter of question. It's a $1 million question out there. But Congress winning, as of now, yes. But yesterday, CPM put out a detailed note asking its party men to go all out. They given ministers responsibilities, saying this person is responsible for this person is responsible for this, and a specific detail has been given out. And I think Pinarayi Vijayan has made a good move with that. At least there is a sense of responsibility there now. After the local body elections lost, Pinarayi Vijayan realizes that the time is up for him, and if he doesn't come back strong, his position in the party will be weak, and the Bengal unit may make a comeback.
Yeah, and he also showed this photograph of Sonia Gandhi with Unnikrishnan Poti.
Yeah, there was a video that came out about him with Unikishan Poti after that. So there's a competitive secularism going around in Congress and CPM, because the irony is that they're fighting in Kerala, and the moment they cross the Valaya River, they are together in Tamil Nadu. And from there all the way up north into Bengal, they're all together. They hold the same two flags and walk around. But in Kerala, they fight like dogs. I mean, it's a kind of show. It is kind of a it's a comedy, basically a comedy of errors that is happening, because Kerala is the last stand for CPM, and once they are out of it, like Venezuelan president, and they will also need to ask Trump to come and kidnap them from Kerala, because that is the only thing that is left for them. And if they are out from Kerala, and if Congress doesn't mess up this time, like they did last time, or like they did in Haryana, then Congress has a good chance of winning. Congress, what I meant by Congress is the UDF, because a big part of the northern win has to be Indian Union Muslim League, IUML. And yesterday we saw a raid on SDPI cadres, where police are said to have recovered, Kerala police, mind you, has recovered a large amount of arms and ammunition from a school which was dumped there by SDPI, which is the political arm of PFI. Now, to raid a Muslim school, if it is done by BJP in Haryana or in Punjab, sorry, in UP or elsewhere, there would have been a hue and cry. But in Kerala, the police not only raided, they put out a press note saying they got so many bombs, because SDPI is a real threat for CPM and they want to counter them. Unless SDPI comes around and starts saying that we will support the CPM, till then there will be pressure on the SDPI. So the Muslim vote in the Malabar area, which is technically now under the Indian Union Muslim League, will be a big toss-up, because CPM never got Muslim votes like that. They didn't even get the Christian votes. So they were getting a bit of the Muslim votes, but not much. And this time, if the Muslim and the Christian votes go to Congress-led UDF, then it's curtains for CPM.
Now, Sureshi, as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned, and DMK has offered 32 seats for Congress party, and Congress, wants more seats. And so, how do you see this alliance between, if Congress aligns with DMK?
Well, beggars can't be choosers, as they say. So whatever they get, they have to take. They did the similar drama in Bihar. What happened finally? Because Tejasvi knows that they can win only so many seats on their own, which is five or six. Rest of the bluff that I want 65 seats was just a crap. It was everybody knows that they cannot win those seats. It is just a drama. Now they're saying we are happy with 38, chalega. Then they will say 35, then DMK will say 34. It is like bargaining in the vegetable market. Finally, you come down and say, fine, I am willing to fight. But the problem is, on their own, can Congress win? No, they cannot. In a Dravidian state like Tamil Nadu, even BJP has realized it. Because then once BJP was with Karunanidhi, with DMK, and now then they went with AIDMK, then they tried independently contesting. Then finally they realized beyond 18% vote share, they cannot win in Tamil Nadu. That is what Annamalai did a fabulous job. There's no doubt about it. He built the party cadre from the booth level. He went toward the entire state. He did all the hard work. Now, if you say somebody else is enjoying the fruits of that, yeah, so be it. But that's the point. The point is very simple, Jayadev, is that we need to ensure that the people of Tamil Nadu this time may think differently. Because post the Tirupakundram issue that happened there, whether the Congress kind of messes up again along with DMK, we need to see that. Because Stalin is totally pro-Islamic. That is, there's no doubt about it. But if the Hindus of Tamil Nadu, the so-called Dravidian Hindus of Tamil Nadu, realize that they are under threat and they do something about it, then definitely Congress and DMK may face a kind of very tough situation. But Congress on their own might win some seats because that is all due to DMK, not due to Congress. The so-called father-son duo of Chidambaram and Karti is not going to get them seats. The Congress has lost it long back. Tamil Manila Congress. This is the Congress where Karupaya Mupana ruled the roost. This is the place from where K. Kamraj, the kingmaker, was from. But today, the Congress is left as an apologetic party, holding on to the kind of rope given by the DMK and walking along with them. There's no choice. As I said before, beggars can be choosers. Congress doesn't have a choice. They are nobody in Tamil Nadu, as much as you might say even BJP for that matter. We saw what happened in the last Lok Sabha elections, 2024. We saw what happened in the assembly election before that. At one time, BJP was a strong party, still is. But that time they were treated with a lot of respect by Jayalalitha. But later, Jayalalitha pulled the plug. We know all the story about Subramaniam Swamy and all that stuff, his deal with Sonia Gandhi. But the point I'm coming back to is I'm routing back to the same factor that if Congress tries to bargain too hard with the DMK, DMK might tell them to take a walk because they know that Congress doesn't bring any value to the table. They don't even bring in 5% votes. So just like Tejasvi realized, I hope Stalin does realize too that Congress is a baggage they're carrying with them. And that is a bad baggage they're carrying.
Yeah, and how do you see Tamil actor Vijay's party playing into all this?
See, if he gets 8 to 10% or 12%, it's going to make a huge difference. He's not going to win. That's for sure. He might release a movie called Jananayakan and all that and try all that stunt. See, the situation is something to very similar to what happened to Pawan Kalyan in Andhra Pradesh the year before, the election before this. At that time, I had spoken extensively about why Pawan Kalyan, as an excellent individual, as a party leader, and as a film star, generated, people, lakhs of people came to watch his meetings. They came there, they saw him speak. The Pavanism was in full flow, but when the actual elections happened, his party came a cropper. Jagan won that time. We all know his story. But subsequently, he realized what he needed was cadres on the ground. You need people sitting in the booth. You need people to go and campaign. And your fans or your film stars fans won't do it. They just come to see you. When you ask them to work hard on the ground without having biryani, booze, or money, that's when the story changes. That's where BJP is damn lucky that they have cadres who don't ask for all these three things. They come and work for free for BJP. So that is where I think Vijay will realize that when the election results finally come out, getting a crowd to a public meeting is easy. Converting them into votes is the toughest part. And unless you have a party machinery which can do that, which Chandrababu Naidu did by bringing in that to Pawan Kalyan's party won all the seats they contested. That is what is. They had a 100% strike ratio, better than Chirag Paswan's party in LJP in Bihar, because there's a comparison between these two. But that is what it is. So Vijay on his own, if he thinks that the film stars, the crowds can bring in votes, then so be it. I mean, just because M.G. Ramachandran, a Malayali, was able to become the chief minister of Tamil Nadu, or J. Jayalalitha, a Brahmin from Mysuru, was able to become a chief minister, why not Vijay, Joseph Vijay from Tamil Nadu, born Tamilian, can become the chief minister? I mean, it's a far, far. Where is MGR? Where is Jayalalitha? And Vijay is absolutely nowhere. Crowds are not an indication of what votes are all about. It's a different ball game altogether.
Yeah, so coming to the last point, Suresh, you were talking about Trump, airlifting Maduro, and in the midst of all that, Modi ji goes to Guyana, and he has agreed to buy, oil from the crude oil, up to 2 million barrels of crude oil from Guyana. So you see how, India, Modi ji is also playing his game as well.
We need to, every president, every head of state, every prime minister today of any nation is doing the marketing job for his country. If Modi ji goes to Guyana or if he goes to Ghana, if he goes to XYZ country, he's not going there for the heck of it. He's not going there to get an award, the best citizen or the highest civilian honor and all that. There is a method and the madness everywhere. And that is what it is. If I'm getting rare earths from Africa is the game, so be it. He does it very well. If it's to get oil from Guyana, yes, so be it. Because remember, we have still have, I think, oil drilling facility in Venezuela, the ONGC Videsh. We put in a couple of $1 billion there, for which we got nothing much out of it. But hopefully, now that Maduro is gone and possibly we can start drilling again, and President Trump will be happy to say, okay, carry on, no issues. Okay, don't drill more than what you've been given. For the rest, we are going to drill. So that is what is going to happen. So Modi ji going to Guyana, yes, it's shipping it from there all the way to India is going to be expensive. Yes, that is one thing, because Middle East is closer for us. But if we can get it at a lower cost, like what we did with Russia, maybe at not that low, because oil is now ruling at $60 a barrel. So even if you get it at $55 a barrel, it's still worth the game actually. And if refining is an issue, then we can even refine somewhere en route, okay, and we can sell it to a third country and still make money out of it. That's like what we're doing with Russian oil now. But if you want to use it for our own purpose, then yes, then the question of toss up of economics in terms of the shipping cost, in terms of the refining cost, etc. But Modi ji has been playing this game quietly. You don't need to make a song and dance about it because you don't want to attract the attention of Donald Trump again. Possibly he'll kidnap the Guyanese prime minister or president now, for all it's worth. So I think he's done a good job. It's been done in Africa before. Modi ji went there. He struck a deal for the rare earths. Not much spoken about it, but he has done it. And hopefully, these kind of deals are what all prime ministers and presidents do. So when Trump goes out, he sells US products, US services, US military hardware, and of course, he sells some threats also. And every other prime minister, be it Keir Starmer or be it Albanese, anybody who goes out does this. They sell their country's manufacturing facility. Xi Jinping does it. So Modi ji did nothing wrong. Possibly we'll give Guyana something else in exchange, maybe technology, maybe some more money to drill because they don't have much of money. So we will invest that. ONGC might put in a couple of billion there too. And of course, it's a good move in the end of the day. But as I said, hopefully President Trump didn't hear or see all this. So Guyana should be careful.
Do you see Trump any day taking over Greenland?
Yeah, I think see, he wants to buy Greenland. That's the latest talk that is going around. Because remember, in the 1800s and all, US bought a lot of territories. That makes up present day US. Alaska was bought from the Russians. So, but that was a different geopolitical world then. Today, it's a different thing. US had bases in Guyana. More than 100 bases during the Second World War and beyond. So it's not a new place for US. They know the place. It's a place where nobody stays basically because of the extreme weather conditions. But it is because attractive because in today's scenario, rare earths and etc. All that stuff is a great thing to have. And definitely, President Trump might strike a deal with Denmark. He might not conquer or occupy, but he'll say, "Give me a lease, give me a half of Greenland on lease, and I will drill, drill, drill." As he says, drill, baby, drill, and then he will make some oil out of it or some rare earths or whatever is available out there. That is the only thing Trump is interested. But again, as I said before in the first story, Jaydev, the next US president might just immediately reverse all this So what happens to all the firms who invest their money there? They'll be sunk. And we've seen this. History is repeating itself again.
Yeah, that was a wonderful session, Sureshi, and we'll see you again next week. Thanks for coming. Jai
Thank you
Hind.
very much. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, and Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Hind.